It's Jeff and Jeremy in the morning.
All right, check this out. Somebody else is upset about DoorDash. I mean, every week there's something.
I want to know what happened to DoorDash, because somehow DoorDash quickly became call you when I'm in the lobby dash. Hey, come outside and pick it up dash. I wanted it at my door. That's why I DoorDashed it. I might be in the shower. I can't come downstairs to the lobby in my pajamas. That was the whole point of getting it to my door.
Oh. Yeah, she got a point. It is called DoorDash. Get your ass to the door, man. Which door, though? The apartment building, the lobby door, your apartment door?
Then you're not allowed to complain when they, can't get past the barriers of entry in you wherever you live.
Let me ask you this:
in an apartment.
If you are in a house, let's say your house, okay? Jeff lives in a neighborhood. He's in a cul-de-sac. He calls DoorDash to deliver the food, and the guy calls and he's like, "Hey, I'm in your driveway. Come out here and get this food." He won't get out of the car.
I'm fine with that.
And then you get out there, and the guy's like 400 pounds. He rolls the window down. He's like, "Here, get your food."
I'm fine with that.
You are not fine with that. Come on.
I am fine with that because I don't ever DoorDash. The guy takes the job.
His job is to take it to your door. That's why it's called DoorDash.
Listen, okay. I'm fine with that, but I also don't use DoorDash because I'm not a lazy ass and I like to save money. So I will go and pick up the food or go to the store, buy the food, prepare the food at home. I don't need, like I have big time regrets when I even go out to eat because I'm like thinking, oh, man, it's a lot of portions. It's expensive to eat out in 2024, all those things. Like when I even just go out to eat, I'm like, I have regrets, and I don't like to have regrets. If I'm to the level of where I have to pay somebody to bring me the food and then require them to bring it to my door, I got to do some soul searching at that point.
What if you're sick?
Like,
what if you're not feeling good?
If I'm sick and I'm not feeling good, I don't have an appetite. So there. Which is usually the case.
You got to feed it cold.
90% of the time when I'm sick.
Is that a myth, by the way? You got to feed it cold? Because I'm always trying to feed the cold. Like, yeah,
I don't know.
Get a Subway sandwich going here.
So it's funny. There is something to it because sometimes when I'm sick, I find myself weirdly hungry and eating a lot.
I do, like soup and sandwich. I just want.
But then other times when I'm sick,
sandwich.
I don't eat for days.
What's your favorite sandwich to eat when you're sick?
Grilled cheese,
tuna fish.
But it's also my favorite sandwich to eat at all times. So.
I get tired of the grilled cheese. I like grilled cheese.
Why?
But I don't know.
Spruce it up.
You know what? My favorite. Well, I like tuna fish. Subway does a good tuna fish because they use the cheap tuna fish. It's not albacore, and I think that tastes better. It's got a little more of a
that.
fishy
No,
taste
it doesn't.
to it. Yeah, see, I like that. I like some flavor.
My wife buys the cheap tuna fish, and I think it's for the same reason. She doesn't like albacore. I'm like, why didn't you buy albacore?
And
She's I like regular tuna fish.
I like to go to Subway.
I never eat.
You're not going to like this. You're going to judge me for this.
Our tuna fish sits in our cupboard because nobody likes the kind of tuna fish that she gets for years, and then we end up throwing it out.
You don't throw it out. It doesn't go bad. It's in a can in the pantry.
No, she sees dates, and she thinks it goes bad.
She's sucker then. She got suckered by that. But you'll judge me for this. I like going to Subway because you don't have to go in. You can order it on the app, and then they'll bring it out to your car. Because I'm always in like I get home, I put on my basketball shorts, a t-shirt, and my slippers, and I just hang out in the house because that's my house attire. I get out of my clothes. So I don't want to get dressed. I just want to get in my car and go down there, which I'm running a risk of what if I get pulled over? What if I break down? What if I have a flat tire? Now I'm in my slippers.
Very Generation Z of you.
I know this is happening as I get older and lazier. And so I go down to the Subway, and Charlene always laughs at me because she's like, God, you can't. I go, well, you go with me. You can go inside. She's like, no, I'm not going inside for you. So I'll go down there and I'll get my...
Is she a personal assistant or a wife?
I'll get my... I mean, she could do both, right? She's a multitasker. I know she's capable of it.
Hey,
how you
will you
present the
go with
opportunity.
me? Will you go with me to the restaurant? Because I don't feel like going in to pick up my food.
Oh, we do it all the time. I'm like, I'll drive if you, what is it called, buy or something. She goes in and she'll pick up the Chinese food and I'll drive her down there. I don't know why she can't just drive herself. And I'm like, I'll drive you.
Weird. But not as weird as...
I don't do it every time like that, but sometimes I'm in my PJs.
I hate the premise of DoorDash. It's like a game of telephone. It really is. I mean, here you are. Like, you could control all the things that you complain about. I think DoorDash is for people that like to complain. You can control all the things that you like to complain about the level of service with DoorDash, but DoorDash opens the door to let you have something to complain about. Whether it's the tip, whether it's where they leave it, whether the speediness of the service, the person that's delivering it to you, how nice they are. It gives you 17 different avenues to have legitimate complaints when you could have just went and got it yourself and you wouldn't have anything to complain about.
I want to know what happened to DoorDash, because somehow DoorDash quickly became call you when I'm in the lobby dash. Hey, come outside and pick it up dash. I wanted it at my door. That's why I DoorDashed it.
3.
I might be in the shower.
3 things.
I can't come downstairs to the lobby in my pajamas. That was the whole point of getting it to my door.
There's 4. There's 4.
Because I might be taking a shower? Why
would you order DoorDash and go, I'm going to order my food. It's going to be here in 10 minutes. Right. I'm going to get in the shower.
Why don't you prioritize your day a little bit better, sweetie, and not jump in the shower right after you order a bunch of food?
Jeff and Jeremy.
I know you love to rail against Florida every chance you get. There's something about Florida.
Oh, I wouldn't say that's the case. It's just the stories come up all the time, you know? I know you're a big fan of Florida. I don't want to hurt your feelings.
I love Florida. There's a guy who is unidentified, probably because you would never be able to get a date ever again once you found out that he had 150 bugs that were living in his nose.
Why did you bring this up? This is disgusting.
And this is the problem with Florida, okay?
Yeah, a lot of bugs.
Like,
a lot of bugs.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful at the beach.
Even the bugs think it's beautiful.
1 to 2 miles inland and you're exposed to this kind of stuff. This guy lived in Jacksonville. And doctors removed larvae from his nose and sinuses after he started to complain of constant nosebleeds. What was happening was the larvae inside his nose were scurrying around, scratching the very sensitive tissue inside your nose and causing the nosebleeds, and they were looking for places to feed, and others had actually burrowed into the tissue of his nose. Once they found this out, they had to put him into surgery stat because the bugs, there was a possibility that the bugs could have made it to the man's brain. This could have killed him. It's a condition called nasal myelitis. Now, he thinks he got it because he was handling dead fish and he didn't wash his hands correctly after handling the dead fish. The larvae were on the dead fish and he maybe scratched his nose and then they went into...
By the way, I just looked it up. 12,500 different species of insects live in Florida's warm tropical climate.
What is one menacing thing about Florida is when you drive around, there are billboards everywhere, warning you not. And this is a place that was like 90, 95 degrees with 100% humidity, so you get hot. And there's signs everywhere saying, don't swim in lakes. And you're like, what? How are you going to swim? You have all these lakes, yet you can't swim in any of them because the lake water gets too warm. And there's an amoeba that lives in the lake water, and it will kill you within days if it swims into your ear or your nose.
How many insects are there in Florida in total? 10 quintillion. Do you know how many zeros that is? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
There's a lot
times
of
3. That's 18 zeros. 18 zeros. 10 quintillion individual insects are alive right now in the state of Florida.
It's funny because you see these big beautiful lakes, and a lot of them are just there's no inhabitants around any of them. The springs are different because the water's colder in the springs, and they say that the amoeba. But here's the thing: they say don't swim in lakes. Springs are fine because the springs, the temperatures are 60, like high 60s to low 70s, and the amoeba can't live in that. I'm not I'm not risking it once I see the billboard.
You know what state has the fewest amount of insects?
I'm good.
Idaho.
Yeah, probably Idaho.
Idaho.
Because it's a barren wasteland.
It's awesome. It's just awesome.
What's awesome about Idaho?
Everybody's moving there from California that doesn't agree with
No,
the state
not
politics.
anymore. Not anymore. That's dumb. It's just like there are people that go there. They're like, oh, everybody's moving to Idaho. Let's check out Idaho. Then they go to Idaho and they're like, I can't leave California. Not for that. Not for Idaho. You want to give me Tennessee? You want to give me Florida? Okay.
Where we live,
Idaho.
like Santa Barbara North, I like California. Santa Barbara South, no thanks. No thanks.
It's so funny. You see these guys that got arrested late last week because they went and stole a bunch of liquor in the Smart and Final, and then they took off on the 101, and they got them. By the time they got to San Anselmo, this was at the Atascadero Smart and Final. And so
No, they didn't get them very, they didn't go very far.
Yeah, 4 exits is how far they made it. And then they threw them in jail immediately. And I was like, that's not very Californian, but it's damn sure Central Coast. And that's what makes me proud to live here. Like, okay, they throw them in jail. Like in San Francisco and Los Angeles and all the Soros DA cities, they would have been like, okay, let them out, get a second chance so they could go knock over another
we need to go over the side of the road and pour out all those bottles. And then we'll let you go.
We're going to let you go with a warning on this one. That's where the rest of California starts.
It's Jeff and Jeremy in the morning.
Temu. You know what Temu is?
I saw the commercials during the Super Bowl. I see the commercials all the time on the internet.
Yes, you see it usually on social media. I mean, Facebook, if you look at Facebook, it's always got Temu,
so
and everything's such a great deal. It reminds me of that Wish app. And the Wish app ended up biting me in the ass.
It's a company that sells a ton of crap for really cheap and spends a ton of money on marketing. Like, I don't know how it's profitable.
Now, my stepdad was going to do this. I was told by a friend, don't do this, because what they do, it's a Chinese company. They take your information and they sell it to third parties. And because they're not in the U.S., they don't have to follow certain rules, even though their stuff is here. And now there's lawsuits and all this stuff going after them. So I haven't really done a lot of research into that, but that's what I was told. So I've always stayed away from it. Even though when I'm looking at it, I'm like, yeah, that's great. Oh my God, I want this. It's too good to be true. It's usually not true. Well, apparently, young people are making fun of, their parents and their addictions to Temu and all the stuff that they have, and they're posting videos on their TikToks and all this kind of stuff because they buy all this crap. But the thing is, I once did this with Wish, totally different app. Do you remember Wish? I bought a knife, $5.
Is Wish still a thing?
I don't think it is. I could look and see if I can download
took it over.
Yeah, I think Temu took it over. So I bought this.
Tell me about your knife.
I bought this knife, and it was a good knife, and I was like, "Oh, this is great." So then I bought this Beifong or Buffong or however you say it, little radio, which is really cool radio, and it was like $5. They normally sell them for like $30-$40 on Amazon. And so this radio is great because you can program any channel into it, and you can talk on any channel, which it's actually illegal to talk on certain channels, like the police department, fire department, Coast Guard, like military and government channels. You have to have, and then they say technically you're supposed to have a hand operator's license to run this thing. But, you know, me and my buddy both have Bufongs, and I've had other friends that have marine radios. They're on a certain channel, and we go to lakes, and he's in a kayak, or another buddy's on another boat. We'll all program into the same channel, and we'll talk to each other. No harm, no foul. So that was great. And then I wanted to order this jumpsuit for fishing. It was kind of like a rain suit, protect you from the wind and the rain. It was made by this company, Daiwa, who makes poles and reels and all kinds of fishing stuff. I thought, oh, this is really cool. So then I knew it was coming from China, so I figured, you know what, I'm going to order this a little bit bigger. I'm normally a large or an XL. I ordered a triple XL. And when I got this thing, your 7-year-old might be able to fit into it. It was so small. I ordered a triple XL, XXXL. You would have thought I could have been swimming around in this thing like I was Jelly Roll. But it wouldn't even fit a 6 or 7-year-old.
Coming to the California Mid-State Fair, by the way.
It wouldn't fit a child. I laughed and I said, that's it. I'm done. I think I paid $20 for it, which was a scream because, excuse me, there had been other suits like that were $100, $200. So I should have known it was too good to be true. But I figured, hey, you know what? Maybe this is an old one. Maybe they had it sit around their warehouse. They're trying to just liquidate stuff and get rid of it. Whatever. Yeah, that wasn't the case. So
it's hard
I got
for me
rid
to
of
take Jelly Roll serious because of his name.
Jelly Roll. I don't know the name. I don't know how he got the name. I've never looked into it. I don't. It's
well,
the
he's a
silliest
big
name.
fat guy, and he names himself after a donut, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
that's very hard for me. It's very hard for me to take him serious because of his name.
You know how much
if
he
his name
weighs?
was Fred Davis, I would take him more serious.
I read a story. He's 495 pounds.
Okay.
And so he's working with this guy. He wants to lose weight. So he's going to try to lose like over
Don't
200
do that,
pounds
dude.
in a year.
Don't do that because we all know what happens to these people that we get used to them being large and then they
It's pretty
lose the
new.
weight.
I mean,
they lose the weight and then they're not taken as serious.
do you know anybody
as
that's
they
had
were.
lap band surgery or the
It becomes
belt
part of their definition.
or whatever it's called? The thing where they squeeze
my
your,
mom.
make your
My
stomach.
mom had it.
Yeah. Did she ever have surgery to get rid of excess skin or did she lose a bunch of weight or anything? Because everybody I know that's lost
No.
like 100 pounds,
She
they
has,
have
she
to.
has she
Yeah,
has excess skin.
A friend of mine's sister, she's lost over 100 pounds. She looks, she's still wearing the clothes that she was when she was 100 pounds heavier, so it just looks kind of awkward. But she's going to go down, and she was going to go to Mexico, but now she's going to Texas to get all this skin removed. Sounds kind of like, can you?
Why Mexico?
Well, because
I would not go there to get my skin removed.
they had a reference from
afraid
somebody they knew that said they had gone down to Mexico and had it done and it was good. Yeah, I know. I wouldn't do that either, but I'm like, Mexico. She goes, no, she's going to Texas now.
Yeah, I would stay. Well, I don't know. I mean, maybe it's better in Mexico. I'm not trusting.
And the insurance companies, apparently, when you lose that much weight, they'll do certain parts of your body, but they won't do all of your body. Like they'll do your neck, and they'll do your belly, but they won't do your arms or your legs, which is like.
So in Mexico, they
would do it all.
Have.
Yeah, they would do it all. You don't have to worry about insurance, just like $5,000. But, after you have all this tissue taken off of you, you need to be in a hospital bed for like a week, like 5 to 7 days, because your whole body just got cut apart, You need to heal. They want to make sure you heal and you don't get infections. But anyways, I don't know how we got here, but.
Diet and exercise. Oh, we started talking about Jelly Roll, and I changed the subject.
Yeah.
Because Temu. I'm not gonna. So it's funny. I looked up Wish. Wish is still a thing. It's not the same logo as before, and it says it's just home goods and electronics. So they may have tailored what they do because Wish was everything. Wish was Temu before Temu, right? But it said I was going to download it and see what I could do, but it said that it uses it takes your third-party data and sells it on the little warning that Google gives you in the Play Store. So yeah, you can't.
Yeah.
If it's too good to be true, it's too good to be true.
I mean, there's all kinds of great stuff on there. But you could literally just fill up a room, your garage, with that stuff. I don't know. Anyways, anybody using Temu? Anybody had a good experience with Temu? Drop us a line, 805-543-3693.
Swear by it.
Really? I've never talked to anybody one way or the other about it. Just a friend of mine said, hey, I've been reading stuff about them. You be careful because they'll just sell your information. And then it's all.
One of my daughter's best friend's moms is all in on the Temu. All in on the Temu.
What has she bought that she's so proud of? Like what was
everything?
Everything.
You name it. Every gadgety thing from and house goods and shoes and water bottles, everything. You name it. I mean, she buys a lot of stuff on Temu.
Subscribe to the Jeff and Jeremy podcast now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, and YouTube. It's your Central Coast commute-friendly podcast.